Hi, welcome back to me and Mon Ami. You'll probably realise from looking behind me that I am not in the south of France and that I'm actually still here in Chiang Mai in northern Thailand. Now you might think that's a very long extended holiday, and it is, but the reason I'm still here and the reason you're not watching a Elton Goes to Saint-Tropez video this week is because I've been here retrieving treatment for skin cancer at the Chiang Mai Ram Hospital. So I've had 2 or 3 goes at making this video, to be honest, over the last few weeks, and ummed and ahed about it. But anyway, I've decided that I think it's kind of worth sharing by way of explaining why we're still here, and also because, you know, we often share things on our channel which are upbeat and jolly and all the rest of it, and everybody's, you know, nobody's life is permanently upbeat and jolly, so there are always downsides. But anyway, cut a long story short, for the last 18 months I've had what can best be described as a growth on my back, which I thought was simply a sort of boil, the sort of thing you get in Yorkshire, a monstrous carbuncle. And about 6 months ago I went to my doctor in the UK and showed her it, and I was referred to a clinic, and I'm still waiting. So I decided while I was in Thailand, because I knew that there was some very good private hospitals here and that they were very reasonably priced, that I'd just get the thing chopped off. So in December, mid-December, I went and had the thing chopped off. This wasn't the way I was expecting to introduce Thai EVs to the channel, driving around the Chiang Mai Ram Hospital, and it was all cauterized and everything else, and that meant it was very difficult actually to cycle again. You remember we did a cycling video, and we planned to do more, and we planned to do more EV videos, but that sort of put the kibosh on that because it was a lot more painful than I thought. But that was only the beginning of the problems, because the monstrous carbuncle was then sent off to Bangkok, where I think various members of the Thai government examined it, and anyway, cut a long story short, on Boxing Day we were ironically sat around another nice hotel pool where we'd gone for the day, and swimming pool, doing some tanning, when I received the email, and it said diagnosis: skin mid-back predunculated tumour, 1 excisional biography, basal cell carcinoma. When I heard that word I didn't feel great. Solid nodular type, size 2.8 by 2, 5 by 0.3 of a centimetre. Positive squamous epidermal margin around the lesion, exposed deep dermal surface. And then it went on to say the section shows invasive growth of basal cell carcinoma with solidness extending from the basal cell layers of the squamous epithelium. You can see why this really cheered me up on Boxing Day. The tumour is composed of basaloid cuboidal cells and large observed mitotic figures. Cystic changes with necrotic debris and squamous differentiations are observed, together with small cellular nests amongst the inflamed dermis. Telangiectasia, that sounds like televangelism, and infiltration of chronic inflammatory cells along the basal cell area of the cancer nests are observed. Blah, 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 blah. Please follow up. Well, I didn't really get to the end of that paragraph, if I'm honest, because I think I was in quite a bit of shock, and let's be honest, those words are well, they're not designed to cheer you up, are they? But then Mr. Boo, when I was in shock, discovered that there was a letter from my doctor here, and it said, I would like to inform you about the pathological test The final result was that a lesion on your back is an invasive nodular basal cell carcinoma, blah 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 blah. It's aggressive and destructive. It's more. So the next, anyway, I'll cut all this because it goes on a bit. So the next step of the treatment is surgical excision by the plastic surgeon. You can book an appointment to see the plastic surgeon by yourself when you are ready, and please do not leave it too long. Well, that last sentence rang like a bell across the whole of Chiang Mai. Please do not leave it too long. Now, you know, I'm making a joke of it now, but I have to confess at the time, for about 2 hours, we were in complete shock, and all we could really do was try and translate all this basal cell carcinoma with squamous epidermics and macchiato added on top. So we received this letter, this email, and you know, as I said in the previous sequence, I was a little thrown by it. I mean, I think the problem is I knew very little about skin cancer, and everybody knows about cancer, so you hear the C word, and of course every alarm bell in the world rings. Anyway, the bottom line was that once we'd looked into it and done all the research, I realized that I was going to have to come back to Chiang Mai Ram to have the thing that had been cauterized and had taken a month to heal to be reopened up, because there was a cancerous growth inside my back. I tried to put this off for a week or so because I felt like I'd just gone through the whole trauma of the previous operation, but anyway, eventually I could resist no longer, and I went in and had what they term as a wide excision, and they opened me up, and in a sort of an hour and a quarter on the table, I was completely conscious throughout. They took out the growth. Now, the thing that was worrying me a lot was the fact that I really didn't want a skin graft, but the size of the excision, the surgeon said to me, it is possible I will have to give you a skin graft, and he would have had to have taken it from my neck, and I really didn't fancy that very much. Anyway, he opened me up. He managed to do it with what I think they call a skin flap operation. It was a little bit unnerving for an hour and a quarter laid on the table, but he did a fantastic job, I have to say, and he sewed me up with, I think, about 28 stitches on the back, 8 inside and about 18 on the outside, and it's in a kind of zigzag position, and they've taken out the growth. So I was then put in a dressing and all the rest of it, and I've actually just been into the hospital now to have the wound redressed. Since then, I've also been for a sort of full skin cancer screening with the dermatologist, and I wasn't greatly surprised, because once I'd done more research into it, I realized that I had various things on my head and my forehead that I'd always put down to just sun skin damage, dry skin, etc., but actually they were also the beginnings of basal cell carcinomas, and he then zapped them with I think it's called cryotherapy, which is like a can of super cold spray, I mean like minus 200 degrees or something crackers, and subsequent to that, quite a lot of the scaliness of those have dropped off, though there's still some more to do, and I might actually go back, because I'm just a little bit paranoid about it all now, of course. But the net result is this is going well on my back. In a week's time, I should be able to take this dressing off, and I should get the result of the patho test, which I think is presumably just checking what they took out and what was in there. And hopefully my back, for the first time in 18 months, I'll be able to actually sit back in Elton and drive, because part of the reason we had so many cushions of the car was I had this boil on the back that every time Elton's wonderful suspension went up and down. My back was smashed against the plastic of the car seat. Oh, this road is shocking. And it was mightily painful and sometimes messy. But the net result is, and I'm feeling it right now holding this stick, is that I have not been able to do a full edit of this week's Elton Goes to Saint-Tropez, because the way I edit is on the iPad Pro, and I'm constantly doing this with my Apple Pencil for, you know, each video takes me about 20 hours to edit. I know it's crazy, but they do. And I started the other day and I thought, there's no way I can do a couple of hours, but there's no way I can do 20 hours of this. He says changing the selfie stick hand because it's hurting. So I just wanted to let you know that that's the situation. Next week, normal service will be resumed on Elton Goes to Saint-Tropez as we go into San Rafael. But it's been a wild ride. It's been an interesting way to spend a holiday, and but I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful that they've sorted this back out, and that I know what's going on, and I now know I've got to lather myself in sun cream and keep wearing this silly hat or other silly hats, and to quite a lot of extent keep out of the sun, which is not going to be very easy, because anybody who knows me will testify I absolutely love sitting in the sun and working. I often edit the videos sat in the sunshine, which is probably why so much on the head. So anyway, that has been the story of the last few weeks. We've still had a lovely time here. We've had great times, great food. We haven't been able to quite do the adventures that we intended to do for obvious reasons. And I can't recommend the Chiang Mai Ram Hospital highly enough if you want any sort of medical treatment like that. They're very fast, they're very efficient, and it's a lot less expensive than the West. I hesitate to say I hope you've enjoyed this video, but anyway, thanks for watching, and take care everyone. Just learn your lesson from me. If you're a big suntanner, slap on that cream, because otherwise you might regret it.